Hi guys, this is NoFragLimit here. I will be recording another game of Warhammer 40k Conquest. This time in competitive online league format called Gardis Unearthed. Will be the first round of that online tournament, and I'll be playing today against Matthew Whittingham, also from UK. Me and Matthew, we played before already. He had this unpleasant experience to play against my Ragnar, and today it will be again an pleasant experience as he will be playing against my commander Shadowsun with Talyesin Inferno. I mean, that requires a big balls to put that warlord on the tournament on the board. Don't take me wrong, I hate the fucking elders, but Taliesin itself I actually really like to play with or play against. He's a nice guy, so I'm really kind of curious how he's going to perform here. Quick look at my hand. I have 5 units, 3 of them with a 4 cost, White Scar Bikers, Philo Marksman, and only 1 attachment here, so not really the best starting hand, I would say. And I'm a bit worried because for 7 resources I could deploy here only 2 units, which would be probably the White Scar Bikers and the Sniper Drones. That means I can contest only 2 planets in the command with 3 command icons. It's not really match, so kind of considering here to mulligan that hand. My opponent's thinking about exactly the same thing. I mean, he's running the Elder deck, so I could be pretty easily dominate the command. That's why I will mulligan, and I'm actually happy about this. What you see here: 2 Terminator, 5 Drakes, my Elf, Earthcast Technician, Shadowsun Stealth Cadre, Sniper Drone team again. That's really cool. More importantly, Squadron Redeployment. Yeah, signature event card allows me to exhaust the unit with the attachment to move it to the target planet. That's a really good move. And most importantly, the new pocket card positional relay attachment allows you to rally X amount of cards for the attachment, and X is the amount of the attachments you currently control. So it's basically an attachment digger, and I'm very happy to see this. This is the first time I'm ever going to use it. I put 3 copies in my decks just to make sure that I will have a chance to test it, and I'm happy to see it in the early stage of the game. Definitely will do some work. And my first deployment will be very obvious. Sniper drone, without any question. Ranged unit with the reload ability. It's pretty awesome. Some say it's up. I will say it's awesome. Fuck, it's on my side of the table. So yeah, it will work. I'm putting it for first planet. As you see, the commands victory icons are going all the way down. Oh, almost everything is blue, so it could potentially end up straight on plan number 3. So it's better to start rolling with the plan number 1, especially if the initiative is in your favor. With the ranged reload unit boosted with some attachments, could be really 2 first strikes. So the opponent will need to really reconsider landing here, because it's difficult to really do anything about it in the first place. Matthew's kind of warning me like he's slow, but I just mentioned on the chat that I will probably need to cut his timing in half to spare him some embarrassment, which I really need to start doing. Doesn't really matter. More time to think for me. If he's not going to deploy soon, I will start thinking about another deployment. So definitely I would like to see this Earthcast Technician to be deployed. So I'm thinking, what would be the best planet for me to deploy? As this is the new Gardis format, you need to really thinking about deployment abilities. So I'm thinking about planet number 3. The planet number 3 ability is to remove the damage. That's not really giving him anything. But let's see, there's a first card, Path of the Leader. So signature event. Gain resource. Wow, so we don't have any warriors or psychers in play, so the only option is to gain additional resources to make it total 8. So I'm thinking here, okay, either he have a lot of units to drop now, or he is running some fat elites. I don't think so. Earthcast Technician on plan number 3 allows me to search for 6 cards for another additional attachment or drone card, and as you see, I have some options here, and I really like what I see because this is additional copy of Positional Relay. I can pick that one. There's 2 shielded cards to be sure that I definitely is going to play that, which is really nice, you know, to have 2 of them straight away. Didn't expect to see that, so pretty cool. And just realized this is a unique attachment, so I cannot really deploy both of them. Wow, probably is a mistake to run the 3 copies then in the deck. I need to really reconsider that next time. Small mistake. It's still a 2 shoulder card, so it will be useful. It's not like a burn card, but I really need to remember about those limitations. So I deployed Aircast Technician plan number 3. As I said, the commitment ability of that planet is not really great. If he's going to decide to chase me up with his Warlord, that's fine. Also, the planet ability trigger, which is resolve the command straggle of any planets, swapping the units controlled by the players, doesn't really do shit, as my drone will drop off back to HQ from planet number 1. There will be no other planet I will have any units on, so really okay. And he decides to deploy the Gleeful Mandrake on planet number 2. Now, this is the interesting choice. By this, he's straight away telling me that he's not going to contest and try to fight off me from planet number 1. This is the range unit. So, really, you should be putting ranged against ranged to try to fight it off. Now, this ranged goes on the side, so I'm guessing he's not willing to go for the drone. And I'm thinking about, in that case, to play the Shadowsun Stealth Cadre as the attachment to add it to that drone to make it 4/7, so it will be able to defend itself. Now, my opponent have only 5 resources, so max 2 units plus Warlord, potentially 2 strikes. He will need to think about that before he will land here. So yeah. I spent all my resources right now, so the only kind of play which left for me is to land with my Shadowsun and deploy that positional relay to one of my units for free. And the obvious choice is the sniper drones, but I'm thinking more about the Elfcast Technician, really, because let's wait. Let's see what's going to be his commitment first, and then decide. So, okay, jesters are having the reaction, forcing me to reveal the cards, event, and attachments with the shield icons, for me to be able to use those shields during the battle. So he could really tell me that he intends to trigger that battle here on the plan number 3 to fight off my Earthcast Technician. So I'm ready. I'm not going to deploy anything else. So let's wait for his another move to see. And he decides to bring another copy of Jesters on plan number 4. For the moment, I was considering plan number 4 that I could really land here, but no. So he's ready. I am ready. So it will be all down to the command, I guess. Trying to think where he's going to land. If he's going to go to plan number 1, I don't think so. He's going to get hit straight for 4 from ranged ability, and that unit of mine will ready itself straight away. So he's going to be forced to run away and to gain that card for 4 damage on his Warlord with 6 HP. It's not a really great move. I could suspect he's going to go for plan number 3 to really block my Technician, or plan number 5 to just get another 2 resources. I'm going to go definitely to plan number 3. to try to help it there, and also to put that positional relay on that technician so he will be able to survive the strike from jesters. So that's my commitment. And surprisingly, he goes for plan number 2. Now, this is interesting. It's definitely not to defend the mandrakes. Mandrakes itself definitely will be too dangerous to fight, to try to fight with my warlord with one attack. So it's more likely to trigger the planet ability, which allows him to rally 6 cards for the units cost 3 or less to put it on the planet. So it's okay with me, really. I mean, I don't really need to think about plan number 2. Let's resolve the commitment now. Commitment of my planet allows me to remove the damage, so it doesn't really do shit. Commitment on his planet makes him to decide if one of us can get the resource or the card. So for him, it's down to decide. He was going to say he's going to leave his, so I'm about to trigger the ability of my warlord to add that additional attachment to the FCAS technician, which is going to be the positional relay. And after a short explanation how the planet ability works, how the trigger commit ability works, then he decides to take and add the 1 resource for each of us, so that's fine. Okay, I'm putting that positional relay, adding some markers to the technician to make it 2-2 now. It's really great now. I'm controlling 2 attachments in total, so that's cool. And down to command straggle, I'm controlling plan number 3 and plan number 1, which is 3 cards and 1 resource. He's controlling plan number 2 and 4, which is 2 cards and 2 resources. Pretty even in the command. I'm happy about that, really. I need some cards to make it more difficult. I could get an additional resource, so potentially I could play something in the next round. And what I see is very funny, because it's Viola Marksman, White Scar Bikers, Auxiliary Armor. Those are exactly the cards I ditched in the first place from my hand before the mulligan, and I'm happy to see them now, actually. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, he have a 3 resources, 6 cards, so pretty similar. And let's go to the first planet to resolve the battle over there. I have no actions, my opponent have no actions, so I can really take the planet. And the way we're going to be doing this until the bug with the Navidia Prime planet is unresolved, we'll be putting up planets on the side, not really claiming them to go into the display, which is the safer to follow with the effects. It's fine. I can really trigger the ability, which tells me to move the damage from unit to unit, which I cannot do because there's no damage in play so far. So I finished giving it away. And plan number 2, he can trigger the ability of the planet, and he decided to play the Farseer, which doesn't really allow him to trigger the ability of the Farseer, as it's only when it's deployed, not put in play. So that's fine. 3 units on plan number 2. I need to be careful about that. Deciding before combat starts on that planet to use the signature event to bring that, to exhaust the sniper drone and move it onto the planet number 3 here. And this is before the ranged combat starts, to really be able to finish the ranged and ready that drone in able to strike for 4 straight away for jesters, so just to stay safe and do not receive any damage on the technicians. And obviously as well put that drones on the table to make it ready for the next round for 2 attacks in ranged. It's actually a good play as well. So yeah, I don't really need to worry about plan number 2. I can skip it, avoid it. It doesn't really require for me to go there for my victory display. I need to really take plan number 3 and eventually plan number 4. So that's what I'm about to do. No pre-battle actions, so my drones are about to ready. But 1 second, what I do here. Okay, he triggered the ability of gestures, which forced me to reveal the shields. That's why I moved the shields on the table to show that I made to use that card in order to defend myself, which is pretty cool. That's okay, and I'm using the action before bringing the drones ready. So I'm exhausting the positional relay, able to look for 2 cards, and I'm finding another copy of position relay, which is a 3rd one. It's a shame that it's a unique attachment, but it's another 2 shoulder, so now I'm pretty well protected. I have 6 shields in hand, so yeah, pretty safe, I guess. Yeah, I'm bringing the sniper drones ready after the ranger is finished, and there's no actions from me, no actions from him, so it's my attack. I obviously hit with the snipers for 4 on the jesters, and if my opponent doesn't really have a free shielder, then the unit should be dead, and I don't see why he should be wasting a free shoulder, so it's obviously dead. Of course, I don't have any actions after the attack. My opponent, does he have any actions? Doesn't look like, but I'm not sure yet. He doesn't, so I can trigger the plan ability to allow me to resolve the command struggle on the planet, and for plan number 4 I'm gaining 1 resource, 1 card, and it's an ambush platform. It's something which I really wanted to see. Ambush platform will allow me to bring more attachments with the reduced costs, so that's a very important card in the early stage of the game as well, and it kind of creates an interesting synergy with the positional relay, which will allow me to dig for more attachments. More attachments with ambush platform is more danger potential, more firepower to put on my units, so yeah, happy about that. Just moving the units around a little bit to remodel the layout. And initiative goes to my opponent. I'm getting another copy of the Space Marine 5 cost unit. This time is the Iron Hand Centurion and the Iron Rifle, more importantly. Now, as you see, I have a few of those Space Marine units in this deck. It's actually 10 of them. I'm running the support, allowing me to reduce the cost of non-tower units by 2. That's why those fat Space Marine units are here. But also, these are the units which do not have any limitations with the war gear. So these are the elite units with the good abilities. I mean, Fire Drake Exterminators deal damage to units. Choosing a defender, and Iron Hand Centurion doesn't really allow any units in cost 2 or less to strike when it's ready. So it's a good defensive unit. Both of them are good defensive units, and when they really boost it with the attachments, they really do a great job. So that's my choice. And obviously White Sky Bikers doesn't really need to explain. White Sky Bikers really, with the reduced cost, could be really deployed by 1 for 1 and possess a big threat, 1 attachment, and they can really strike for 6 straight away. So yeah, it's a good stuff. So initiative to my opponent. He needs to deploy first, so his choice. Will be the Elder Survivalist, placed on plan number 5, so he builds up the economy over there. Yeah, makes sense. It's not going to be a long game, so he needs to be careful with that command, really. He needs to start thinking about blocking the plan number 3 right now, because that will be my victory condition. I will go with the ambush platform. As I said, this is the essential I need to possess, so the more attachments I have in hand, the more gain I will get from that card. So yeah, ambush platform is the absolute choice. And my opponent says, okay, this might be an odd play. I wonder what he's going to do. He decides to put the Avenger Exarch into play, and interestingly it goes for planet number 5 as well. So I guess he intends to secure that income. He probably recognized that I could easily go there with the Warlord itself and just kill off that Elder and jeopardize all the income he needs. I guess he's struggling to get anything, so that's interesting. The Exarch is a really good defensive unit. I was more thinking about he's going to go for plan number 3, but no. That's okay, I guess. Not really worried about that move. I don't really go for plan number 1, so I guess plan number 2 is well secured. I will deploy a stronger unit on White Sky Bikers on plan number 3 to even the commands and start to cleaning it out as well. This is the victory condition, so that's where we need to fight very soon. He does have only 2 resources, 6 cards, so he's not going to deploy anything heavy, I guess. Could really put that Vile or Marksman as well. Boost this with the Iron Rifle for free, I guess. And potentially put the auxiliary armor from the Warlord ability. So I'm gonna have boosted marksmen for 4 attacks and White Scarf Bikers with the auxiliary armor. That will be 6 attack when the Warlord is present. So pretty strong firepower to go, I guess. So he recognized my plan. He deploys the Warlock Distractors on planet number 3 to really pick up the fight this time. It's interesting. It's a cheap unit, something which is good to play with Talyesin. I guess that's the right play. I'm not really sure about that Exarch on plan number 5, but I know I need to deploy the attachment and boost the stats of the White Scar Bikers. So that allows me to put that for 1 resource with the decreased cost from the ambush platform. So yeah, I could really wait for the Warlord ability to put it free. But I wasn't really sure at that point if I really gonna go with the Warlord there, if I do really want to go to plan number 5 just to block this income there. So I'm thinking of like, should I not? I don't know. So he decides to ready himself. He doesn't have any more actions. I'm gonna deploy my Vile Marksman, and for 0 resources I will also put a Iron Rifle on that Marksman to make it 4 attack and make it clear that now there's enough firepower to kill off those Elder units before they will be able to speak. So yeah, happy about this, really. That's my old deployment, I guess. I have no more resources, so I'm just thinking about now about the commitment. I can do the action actually, so I can exhaust this attachment to dig out additional attachment. Now I can control 4. So yeah, there it is. And it's another new card from the Apoca edition, the Fission Cascade Defiance. So it's attachment +1/+1, and it adds 1 damage when it enters the game, 1 damage when it leaves the game. So kind of good cannon. Could be a good revenge kind of hit for the dying unit. Let's see. I didn't test that card, but it's a 2-shielder as well, so I am really solidly secured here. Ambush platform working wonders for you here. Well, it's not really a ambush platform. I mean, I've put only 2 attachments and reduced costs, so it's really the positional relay kind of helping out here. But in synergy with the ambush platform will be very, very dangerous, you know. I hope you recognize this. So, yeah. And decide on my commitment, so I definitely can go for plan number 3 to try to get rid of those units there, as this is going to go dangerous. My White Sky Bikers also received 1 command icon, so I actually have 3 command icons on that plan number 3. I am winning, even if the enemy warlord will commit, that I am still in favor. So yeah, plan number 3 is the right choice, I guess. I could only reconsider plan number 5, but no, wiping off the plan number 3, securing the victory condition from the early start, it's more important, I think. So yeah, I'm done, he's done, so yeah. As I said, I'm gonna go for plan number 3. And he's going to plan number 5, really? So he was so scared I'm going to block his income that he decided to put the warlord and the exarch there. That's a strong, really strongly kind of defensive play, a little bit too much. My commitment allows me to put a fate icon on my Viola Marksman, and his commitments reveal a card from his hand. So it's the Talyesin Warlocks he reveals, another unit free cost, so yeah, okay. I guess it's enough. My command struggle, I'm willing planner number 2, I'm planner number 3, which is 2/2, and he's gaining 3 resources, 3 cards this time, a slight advantage in his favor. But I guess strategically I'm much better positioned here, as his units will go back to HQ for plan number 1, and the other half of the army will be stuck on plan number 5. He's so far really unprepared for the final battle, which I'm already thinking of. So yeah, not really sure what's this concept with that plan number 5. I'm done. I have no actions for plan number 1, so he can really start looking for another unit. And he decides to put a Warlock Distractor, another copy of that card, so, well, he will pay at least 1 resource in the next deploy phase, next round, so I'm okay with that. So this is going to be the first planet in this victory display, 2 icons, red and blue. Yeah, useful stuff. But it will not stop me. He will definitely need to block one of those 2 blues in the future. So, yeah. I moved it for him as I control the planets, and that's fine. There's no battle plan number 2. There's a battle plan number 3. So there you go. Do I have any actions? I don't. I'm waiting for him to do the action first. He don't have any actions, so it's going to be my first strike in ranged. So this is the, Viola Marksman will attack Jesters with 2 HP. So 4 attack against 2. That will allow me to kill off that unit. He's using the, he wants to trigger the ability of Jesters. That's fine. I'm going to put the positional relays there just to indicate I have the 4 shields to use, so that's fine. Again, I will try to strike again, so if he don't have any more actions, it will be the marksmen's onto the Jesters. So it's my attack, he don't have any shields, so the Jesters died, and I don't have any more actions. The next attack will be the White Sky Bikers attacking for 6, that Warlock, so I guess that Warlock going to be dead, as well before he even had the chance to strike, which is a clean cut for the second time. Really happy about that. You don't have any action, so I can strike. Okay, so 6 attacks for 4 HP Warlock, so I guess no free shoulders. He's supposed to die. Everyone's thinking heavily about this. Did he have a free shoulder? And is he considering to waste it? Okay, so nullify. What the hell? He puts 1 damage, 2, 3. Probably didn't notice that he's actually 6. He have +2 from Warlord, so shields, it's not really important. Good to know you have a nullify in hand. That might help me to reconsider any effects like Tova or so on. So yeah, his Warlock Distractor dies, so that's a clean cut. I have no more actions to perform. He does not have any action, so I can now decide to swap the positions of my units, because it's between the planets, so I cannot really switch his units. Now it'll be interesting to go and send like this distractor, Warlock Distractor to planet number 5 instead of the Survivalist. But no, I decided to swap the Cast Technician with the Violer Marksman, so Technician is going to go further back to protect himself, and Marksman will be lined up with the Sniper Drone on the plan number 1 to to create a ranged wall. And as I have another copy of Sniper Drones in my hand, I will definitely deploy them on the next planet. And it's purely because I'm afraid now of Doom. He could have a copy of Doom in his deck, and if I will put that drone together with the other drone, I could really regret this. So, I need to spread my force a little bit around. He decides to do not trigger. Going back to HQ, no actions in the headquarter phase, so I guess we can go for the third turn. Yep. So the next round, getting 2 copies of auxiliary armor. Now this is fun. With the ambush platform now will pay off. I have a plenty of shields. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 shoulders in my hand. This is absolutely extreme. And I have a Sniper Drone. I have another copy of Violer Marksman, so I could potentially deploy those 2 units for 5, put auxiliary armor for 1, and then deploy another auxiliary armor from Warlord ability. So this looks really good, promising so far. The initiative is on my side, so I guess I'm supposed to deploy something first. I'm kind of thinking now what it should be. He's having 7 resources, so he's about to decide on which planet he will deploy all his army and land, because he needs to start really piling up. He needs to really kind of put all the units on one planet and just go with the Warlord to start using his ability to boost them HP, to boost attacks from those units, to really make them work. So I guess his choice will be more about planet number 2. The planet number 1 looks difficult. I have 2 ranged units there, and I could play another one like Violer Marksman and just create a no-go zone. Or I could simply put the Fusion Cascade for free, with the reduced cost from ambush platform, on that White Scar Bikers to boost his HP a little bit and make it more interesting and more dangerous. A hard choice, really. Now I'm taking the time. But I decided to put the viral marksman first, and I decided to put it on plan number 2 to get additional resources. Now I'm thinking, okay, what's going to happen? I need some resources in the future because I'm stuck with those 5 cost units. I will really need to be able to pay for them in the next round, whatever happens. If I will lose the battle or I will slightly win the battle, if I'm not going to get any cards in my hands, I'm not going to draw anything, then I'm cooked. If I'm not going to have enough money to play those elites, then I will find myself in a difficult spot. So no, it's better to put the marksman now on the side to go for those resources and just to, try to secure the next deployment, I guess. So waiting for his deployment again. Need to speed up in action a little bit. But I'm thinking, okay. Oh, there it is. So another copy of Avenger Exarch deployed on plan number 2. Defensive unit, plan number 2. It's pretty simple and pretty clear now. This is the planet where the invasion is going to start. This is the planet where the Elder is about to land. So I need to start really arming myself up here. So the first move I'm about to do is to deploy that attachment for free. Reduced cost by 1 and added to the White Scar Bikers. So it will boost him to with 1 more attack, 1 more HP, but more importantly will deal 1 damage to that Exarch for entering the play, which is cool. I really like it. Okay. Also securing or increasing the HP of that Bikers to 5. Pretty sure he's not going to die in 1 hit, as I have so many shields. It's really important to try to secure him anyway. So let's see. The next deployment for the Elders. I'm expecting more units now, and there it is. Eldritch Corsair. So yeah, a unit which gets +2 attack for Warlord present on the planet. So that's okay. I'm about to deploy my drone copy to make it really nasty. Now he have only 1 resource 8 cards, so I don't really see any more units deployed from his side. I could be wrong. Yep. And I was the same hand Kingsman, so he decides to block my income from the marksman and really just do the damage. So using the reduced cost to put 1 of those auxiliary armors on my drone to secure its stats, boost the attack value. So now I have a ranged unit plan number 2, which will definitely help me to fight with that incoming horde. My opponent doesn't have any resources, so I expect him to pass the turn over to me, which he does. So I'm able to actually use the ability of the position relay and look for attachment or drone unit. I didn't really want to go for another drone. I want to really get the attachment, so I decided to take the heavy marker, which will allow me to deploy it from the ambush platform for free, eventually doubling the damage dealt to 1 of the units. So I decided to go for that. It's cool. I don't have any more actions, so I decided to commit, and this is really cocky from my perspective. I know he's going to go for plan number 2, and still I am ignoring that fact and going for plan number 3 to get those resources. Now, do I really need to do this? No, but I will do some damage to his units anyway. It's not going to be like he's going to win that planet for free. I have first of all the ability from the commitment, which is to deal 1 damage to the unit on that planet. So Saimhan will receive a ping damage straight away. And might opponent decide to mulligan, well, to shield with the nullify. So yeah, okay. He can now trigger the commitments from landing. White fade icon on one of his units, and it's going to be an Exarch. Okay, I'm triggering the wall ability to add the Viola and the auxiliary armor on the marksman's for free, which makes him again free powerful unit in range. And yeah, here is my command straggle winnings. 3 resources, 1 card at this point. Resources are very important to be able to bring up the elite units in the next round. So yeah, player number 1, player number 2, he's gaining again 3 resources, 3 cards against my 3 resources in 1 card. Yeah, and I decide to pass the actions on player number 1. There's no battle, he says it's yours, so I can really resolve the command straggle on one of the planets, and this is beautiful because I can select player number 2, and temporarily I'm taking control over the survivalist. So really by this command struggle I am getting 2 resources and 2 cards. So that's a really cool play. Yeah, he said it's nice for me, but sad for him. Unfortunately, that's what it is. So yeah, another planet goes into my victory display. I'm drawing some cards, and this is more attachments now, so it's very deadly for my opponent. And I have 2 blue icons, pretty cool. My units are going back to HQ, and we can start the battle on planet number 2. My unit's been left without my warlord, and this is probably a mistake. I'm kind of risking quite a lot, considering that this Talyesin is giving a 1 HP, 1 attack to each of those units, plus you need to really choose a warrior who is, which is triggered by the Exarch ability. So it's kind of difficult to justify. Just to get those 2 resources. It wasn't really worth it, but well, I guess I am just too well prepared right now, and I believe even by doing some partial damage I will be able to land here and just win it the next round. So yeah, my opponent having the action, so actually he's using a Mind War to exhaust my non-elite army unit, which is great. So I guess this White Scar Bikers will be useless. Now there is a risk that I'm going to get beaten here. The White Scar Bikers are really important for me. So for that reason I will deploy the repulse or impact field from the ambush platform ability, reducing cost to 1, and I will put them on the White Scar Bikers to deal some damage, because he's going to be a target and he's the most dangerous unit, so obviously someone will try to kill him off, and this repulse or impact will make sure that the attackers will get what they deserve for. So I really like to put the repulsor onto the Iron Hand Centurion, because it got such an extent HP amount, but no. This time I'm forced to put it under the White Scar Bikers, which is cool. So initiative go back to him. So the first attack from ranged ability, I decide to strike with drone for 4 attack onto the Corsair, who's having a 4 HP at the moment because of the increased value from Warlord. Does he going to decide to shield or not? Yes, he does, and he's using a Warhost helmet to shield this. Unbelievable. I mean, okay, so the Corsair is alive. He probably would be alive still, but he shielded it. That's fine. So he's been left on 2 damage. I have no action, so my drone makes itself ready as it's after the ranged. So it's now the turn to my opponent to strike. So I guess the same unit will attack now. Yes, it does, and it's got 2 plus. So it's actually 5 attack right now with the ability from the Warlord. So I'm shielding 2, that's giving it 3 damage on my unit. And now Repulsor Impact causing 2 damage on the Corsair. So that's a revenge for the attack. And this is something I wanted to do. So now the attachment's working now, so that's cool. Is that Corsair going to die, or there's another shield involved into this business? Okay, so he's shielding for 1, adding the 1 damage, which is fine. Using the Eldritch Storm to really shield this. I'm surprised. Okay, I have no actions after my attack, so it's all down to my opponent, who's about to strike again. No, it's going to be my attack this time. So I'm deciding to attack with Aircast Ignition, as he's maybe the potential next target, and I should be really finishing off that Corsair, but I'm figuring out, you know what, let's trigger and let's attack the Bleeful Mandrake for the start. Those units, if the Warlord will retrieve, those units, they will simply die, as the Warlord won't be able to help them anymore. So I'm placing 2 damage on the Mandrake, and there are 3 damages on the Corsair as well, so those units definitely will drop off after the battle. And now he's attacking with the Exarch onto my unit, and I'm using 2 Shielder to add only 1 damage. And Repulsor Impact Field will cost another 2 again to that buddy. So yeah, he decides to use the fight icon to just add 1 damage, which is totally cool. So yeah, my biker is sitting on 4 damages. I need to move that marker damage onto something else because my opponent couldn't really see the 4 rows of markers. It's pretty devastating. I didn't know that's the case. So I am ready. I don't have any more actions during this battle, so it's dole down to Elders now to get it really pumped. So yeah, I'm ready. He decides to attack with his Warlord onto my White Scar Bikers. That's interesting. It's my attack first, so I will decide to hit with a drone on the Exarch. That's my move. Yep, and the Exarch died. So now I can really pick up any target. So yeah, he attacks with his Warlord, and I'm deciding to scrap another shield to defend my unit. So nothing happens really. he's regretting because he realized how many shields I had, and he couldn't really do nothing. So yeah, I have no actions. Just waiting for his response, but I don't think he have any. If he's ditching the idea of removing this White Scar Bikers, definitely he may not be able to really fight me off. So let's see. I'm ready myself. He did. His first decision belongs to him, so I will wait for him to decide. But in general, I'm not really scared about this battle. Really, I have 2 strong units, and I could really thinking of moving this Earth cast technician away of the battle, just in order to survive. But I want to really to kill off as many units as possible. So when I will land with the drone in the next round, I will be ready. Yeah. I guess you stay. I definitely stay. He didn't really mention this, but I intend to just to be here. So as we both established that we will stay on the planet, then his attack is initiative. So first strike. And the Corsair, of course, attacking for 5. That's really destroying my bikers, but this attachment pings 1 damage onto one of the units when it's leaving the play. So the 1 damage to target unit this planet. So I am about to really kill off that Mandrake. So do not let him strike. 6 cards. I can guess he has some shields still. I mean, he used quite a lot of them, so let's see. Now this one ping, if he'll kill the Mandrake, I can really survive this actually. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it died. So the attachment did a job. Really cool. Now it's my attack. So before the cast technician will die, I decide to do damage to his warlord. And potentially, if there's no shields in the opponent's hand, I could bloody him. So he will need to retreat in order to avoid that. And if he will retreat, I will be able to strike with the drone for one of those units to kill it off. So it's interesting play now. Because as long as Talyesin will leave the planet, the Corsair is going to go and die as well. So I mean, retreating is probably the worst case scenario he can do, but he cannot allow himself to get it bloodied as well. So it's such a difficult position right now. He don't shield his first attack, so he may to bluff about the other one. Still not sure, but I'm ready. I'm waiting for the actions, if he has any actions or not. And decides to attack with the Warlock Destructive for 4, and that goes straight on the drones. I am unable to really shield it. I don't want to really get rid of that iron rifle yet. So yeah, I mean the drone's gonna die. Technically, it will, I guess. So the only thing I can do is to kill off, or try to kill off, that Warlord, because as long as the Warlord is present, those units, they're getting +1 attack. So if the Warlord's going to get bloodied and Psyker's going to stay, he'll have only 2 attacks. So I'm able to shield over the rifle and still survive with my drone. That would be beautiful. But it's all down to luck and to decide if my opponent have any shields or not. I will try anyway. So attack for 4 on a 4 HP left. Just go and pray and see what is going to happen. And yes, it's been bloodied. Wow! So I've been able to remove it from the battle, and straight away the Corsairs, they're going to die as well. And now the Farseer, it will have only 2 attacks value, so I can really shield 1 and survive. And he attacks the drones, but I have the iron rifle, and I'm saying, you know, fuck it, you know, I really wish the drone to survive, to go back home and then ready himself after the battle. So I mean after the ranged. So yeah, making it ready. He's making ready, and I am obviously pulling my units back to HQ now because they both present some value in the ready itself and the attachment digging skills. I'm kind of really interesting to land on the next planet. So yeah, for the first time I can say that he's prepared for the next battle. I mean, semi-prepared, as his warlord is bloodied. It will be his initiative, so he can easily pull off, but it doesn't really look great so far for him. He's thinking about switching the planet's positions of 2 units. He decides to do not trigger, so we go for the next plan, the battle. On plan number 3, I'm attacking with the marksmen quickly for free. That's just straightforward. I don't believe you have any shields, for you will be using it for the warlord, so that's a quick kill. Marksman kills the Eldar unit, and I am triggering the ability of the planet. That means to deal 1 damage to target units on the adjacent planet and also in the HQ. So definitely will be a warlord. And Warlord Distractor and Farseer, I'm not really sure. One of those, yeah, Farseer, Warlord Distractor, and the Warlord back. So I've dealt some damage already, which is good. And moving my warlord back, and now I am ready to go for the next round, really. With the 4 resources and some units in my hand, it looks good. It actually looks like I am still able to land there and wipe out the Elder Defense on plan number 1. But let's see for the draw what kind of cards I'm going to get. Command Link Drone and IF Technician, so not really the worst one, considering that I'm about to deploy the FAT Space Marine unit anyway. It will be a good pinpoint, and it all depends on the amount of the deployments and how dense will be population of the elders on plan number 1. I'm reminding him about the Warlock Destructor cost. You need to pay 1 for this body to be able to keep it, so you need to make a very important decision. So he decides to put another copy of Bleedful Mandrake, so definitely some ranged up here. Okay. Okay, so now I am thinking, oh yeah, we have a short discussion here that my opponent actually admit on the chat that he really mulliganed the free 2 command icon units in cost 1. And Doom as well, as I mentioned to him, Doom would be so useful right now. You could kill off my army and then I'll be just doomed. Yeah. But no Doom in his hand, so I'm safe. The army is going to land. Pretty cool about that. I decided to play Alona F Gas Technician on plan number 5. To kind of get another card and another attachment from that deploy. So let's look for 6 cards. And the only one I can take, and is the best I could go with anyway, is the Iron Rifle. So I'm happy about that one. really happy. It's cool. Out of all the options, my opponent's still thinking about deployments, and he decides to put another survivalist in play. So that's very interesting. He will be getting a lot of cards and a lot of resources still. I don't really know what for. You know, the battle is there. The battle is really on player number 1. What are you going to do? I don't really know. There's a slight discussion about this first mulligan from his hand anyway. But now my deploy. It will be heartbreaking deploy. Obviously, if there's no dim in his hand and there's no resources he can play anyway, I decide to put Iron Hand Centurion on that player number 1. In the Iron Hand Centurion blocks units with cost 2 or less from attacking whenever the Iron Hand is ready. So in general, I am blocking the attack from Warlord Distractor, and if I am about to put the Shadowsun Stealth Cadre and the Iron Rifle on it, then that will be basically really much well done. I think so. I kept him from the beginning almost, so I think it's obviously GG, but let's see it through. So my opponent gives up the game. It was really going that way from the beginning. I couldn't really see it any different. What I would do here definitely is to put the Iron Rifle for free on this Centurion to make it bigger. So it's going to be actually a nasty unit for 6 attack and 7 HP. And then I will add the Shadowsun Stealth Cadre to one of my drones to just boost their attacks as well, because they will make themselves ready after landing. So Shadow Stealth Cadre boosting another 2/2 plus command link drone free shielder will definitely allow me to defend it here, and my opponent recognized this. So yeah, at this point there is no really any other option just to give up the game. We decided to play it through, but it did really go fast. It was a torture for the elders. They lost that battle here, and they couldn't really do anything. So the Shadowsun proved its value again. I'm really happy about the new positional relay working in synergy with the ambush platform. It's really worthy. It's really good attachment, you know. So I'm happy about the testing. I'm really happy about the result. It was a little bit of overkill. Elders didn't really show anything here, so I'm really sorry for that. But well, what I can do. Point for me, the first win. Let's see where it's going to go. I hope you're ready for that Shadowsun. I'm made to play again. However, I have a few more decks in order to prepare for that tournament. So don't expect to see me playing Shadowsun all the time. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you paid some sympathy to Matthew and to the elders. Unfortunately, the Tau Empire proves that they're superior. Thank you again. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.